Welcome to the Sound Centric Podcast. I am your host, Adam Dash, and today we are joined by one of the best artists coming out of Atlanta. Big thank you to Chris Patrick for putting me on to him. Instantly sent it to every single person I know. SWAVAY, welcome to the show.
What's up, man? How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm so excited. This feels like a big moment for the pod. You know, we're going up slowly, and I mean, there's nothing more fun in the world that keeps me going than finding a new artist I love. Last year for me, it was Jordan Ward. After seeing the JID and Smino tour, and I heard Grammys, and I heard Faces, and I heard 2 a.m. and I'm like, this is the next person. This is the next person in line.
That's crazy that you discovered like two people who were on the same tour too. So that's great. Yeah.
Dude, that tour. I mean, JID and Smino are like my two top 5 artists of all time. And then I heard Jordan, and I'm like, who? I had seen his name before, and I'd listened to songs by him. But I was like, who the hell? I have to check this person out. Album of the year for me.
Facts.
But to get into things, I think a really underrated thing in hip hop, Tyler the Creator did not start this in any way, but I think he has really pushed it forward, is world building with an album rollout. And I think you and your videographer, Connor Fisher, have done a crazy job with creating this vibe with your music videos and the skits that are going along to it. Tell me how important that is to you, making this world before this eventual album's going to drop.
Man, I feel like, bro, like with me, I'm just like I'm like really into like visuals. Like I've always been like the type of person that'll like sit down and watch like 30 music videos like a day, like since I was a kid, you know what I mean? And like honestly, like I think there was like a shift for me to where like I realized that like, you know, I feel like the music was good, but like the videos they just weren't doing it for me.
Yeah.
And it was really just watching a lot of like ASAP Rocky music videos. You know what I mean? Like Rocky,
best artist music videos ever.
Best,
A$AP,
like literally, like
A$AP Forever is the coolest video I've ever seen.
Bro, ASAP Forever, Money Man, fucking DMB, fucking
crazy.
Everything he's ever done is just like, and Slow Tie even too. Like Slow Tie has an amazing videos too. But like, man, just like watching the videos and just being like, just tired of just like having bad videos. You know what I mean? But also too, like, I kind of hate music videos at the same time too, because I hate like watching a music video and it's just like somebody in their kitchen. You know what I mean? Like 100 guns, bad bitches. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really just don't feel like, even if the music sounds like that, like I always felt like a video could like show something else, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important to like really build a world, but like I definitely don't think it's for everybody though. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't think like an artist like YoungBoy needs to build a world on top of whatever he has going on, or like I don't need to see like the same type of thing that maybe myself, Rocky, or Tyler would do from like a Playboy Cardi. But like in the way though, like they have their world that they're building. It just doesn't exist in like the type of videos that they do. You know what I mean? But for me, it's like everything. Like I'm like obsessed with like, you know, world building and storytelling and all that other type of stuff, bro. It's like my thing. You know what I mean?
It's awesome. I saw someone tweet the other day. They're like, "Our music video's dead," and I'm like, "Did I miss a day of the world where music videos weren't important?" Because I think it's the greatest thing. A music video can make you like a song so much more.
Yeah.
And I always think about Tribe by Boz and J. Cole specifically, because it's not anything like crazy of a music video, but the vibe that the music video has, and it's like orange, has made it one of my favorite songs of all time, because I always think of that vibe when I'm listening to it.
Yeah. I definitely don't think like music videos are like dead, but I definitely get like, I get the statement though. Like, you know, like I feel like when you watch the music video, maybe when like we were coming up, it just had like a specific feeling to it. You know what I mean? Like it felt like you were that artist for like 3 minutes, you know? But I think today, I think that like the music video is kind of like, and music too, in a way too, just has a lot less feeling. You know what I mean? So I think it's a thing that's just all encompassing, but I like the artists like myself who are really trying to like stand on and execute on just having like great visuals. Like even if no one gets it, even if it's not like the video that goes viral or whatever, like I love videos, so I have to like, that's something I'm like, it's like a non-negotiable for me, you know what I mean?
So do you write it fully, or how do you come up with the idea of let's do a late night talk show that's kind of uncomfortable. Like the host is making me feel uncomfortable. How's that come
Um,
together?
it started from I really wanted to like okay, so like a lot of my ideas like start as like unoriginal ideas for real.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so originally like I wanted to shoot the Baby music video just like the Buddy Holly music video that Weezer did, just because I love Spike Jones and that
Mm-hmm.
video is just so incredible. And I was like, okay, like let's do something like that, but like what skit's gonna come with this? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like Connor was just like something like the Ed Sullivan Show. So we just watched a lot of Ed
Yeah.
Sullivan Show from like back in the day, and like we just was like, damn, like all right, like this is a talk show music video. You know what I mean? And then it just was like it turned into like who's gonna like be the host of this show, and we're just thinking about so many people. Like honestly, like I think we thought about Caleb City. He's a YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
Reese LaFleur was one of them. And Geo was like the last one, but like I like when it's just someone that's just so random. Like it's just
Yeah.
like who, like how the fuck and like who, like you know what I mean. Like that's really
Yeah.
important to like my world. Just being like damn, I wouldn't even think that they knew each other or like
Mm-hmm.
like that's so random. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's so hard too at the same time. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I just think about like the "Call Me If You Get Lost" rollout,
Yeah.
and nothing makes sense until the album comes out, and then you see it. Or even I remember when Igor was coming out, there's that video of him like climbing up a ladder, and it's like never ending, and it makes
Mhm.
no sense until you hear the album, and you're like, oh, this is a really big world they're making. I just think it
Right.
makes it cooler.
Yeah, Tyler does that really well too. Just for like color too, like his color
Yeah,
association is just so strong.
yeah,
Like you can watch another music video and it has nothing, or any video in general, and it'll have nothing to do with Tyler. But like I know if I see like specific colors and a specific color grade, like
yeah.
I kind of associate it with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A funny story with that. So at Ohio State, I helped put on the concerts that came with the tuition, and we had
Mhm.
Jaden Smith come. And throughout Jaden's performance, he has music videos in the background, always playing with like the light
Mhm.
blue colors. So I
Mhm.
got to meet him after. So I'm like, if I compliment him on the colors, I think he will find that like so nice because I'm sure he put a lot of effort into that. So I
Yep.
tell him, and he's all happy. But when I explain it to my friends when I get back, I sound like a child. They're like, "You told
Yeah.
Jaden Smith you like his colors?" I'm like, no, 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 it can't. It made more sense in the moment.
Yeah. Nah, man. I think I'm glad that like he understood though. You know what I mean? That's something that sounds like
Yeah,
some
yeah,
shit
yeah,
I do for real too. Like going up to like Rocky and just being like, oh man, I just love like I love the palette that you just create
yeah,
every time. Like, bro, what are you talking about? You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
It's like 'cause I wanted him to know subconsciously that like I get it. Like
yeah, exactly.
I see what you're doing. But
Hmm.
now I want to shift to Atlanta rap. So
Hmm.
Outkast famously said at the award show, the South has something to say. JID says I'll never.
Hmm.
I'm Southern lyricists don't exist. Like my flow is a myth. And it's funny that for me, being born in 2001, getting really into hip hop around like 2011, Atlanta
Hmm.
to me has been the center of hip hop that entire time. So I see
Right.
all these famous quotes from Outkast, and I see JID saying that. But to me, it's like JID, Earth Gang, Kenny Mason, you, Black, Deontay Hitchcock, Marco Plus, Ben Riley.
Hmm.
It's like the best lyricist that I've listened to my entire life.
Oh
So
wow. Damn, thank you.
it's
That's
interesting that
crazy.
like it's interesting that the Atlanta rappers sometimes get the kind of like self-conscious like the South has something to say, like we are lyricists. But to me, I'm like they've always been lyricists.
Yeah,
But tell me
yeah.
that about that for you.
I mean, bro, I mean, you were born in 2001, so I'm 26. So for me, like, I definitely grew up in a time where like the majority of Southern rap, for my I grew up on Outkast, but it was more of
Yeah,
like a studious thing for me. But like I
yeah,
think the majority of like my life was like, bro, like trap music was like the dominating sound. Like you couldn't go
mm-hmm.
nowhere and not hear trap music. You know what I mean? So um and with all the people that you named outside of like Outkast, like that's like some newer shit to me. Like you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like Jid being who he is and being successful. Like bro, like it was a point in time where like man, like I know like I've known Ben Riley my whole life for real, for real.
yeah,
So like there was a point in time where like we would have conversations and be like, yo, bro, like I don't know how we're gonna make it out of Atlanta with this sound,
uh huh,
like actually like rapping for real. But like shit, I guess it's like a thing now, like you said, like I don't know, but like Atlanta's always just had its little pockets, bro. Like I mean, like yeah, like myself, Kenny Mason, like Deontay, Marco, Ben, we're all from Atlanta, but like there's also like the pocket of like the Anicias and Karas, and then there's
Yeah.
like, you know, the Nudies and the 21s, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like it's just so much shit going on. It kind of feels like California, like to where there was like a lot going on, or there
Yeah.
is a lot going on, and just there's like little pockets. But like the only thing about it is like our city's just not that big, so like,
Yeah.
you know, we'll like all be around each other and all just kind of know each other and have our own little weird experiences. But like, bro,
Yeah.
respectfully, like this is some new shit. Like, and the fact that you like said it like that really honestly put it in a different perspective for me because in a way it just kind of feels like it's those same names versus the world. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
versus like the rest of Atlanta, like in a way. And I know Atlanta's like we all like have this big camaraderie thing, and it is that.
Yeah.
But it's like, bro, we really have to fight for our moment, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like JID having his moment with surround sound is like, bro, that's bigger than like
It's awesome.
that's insane, bro. Like you know, like that's a lyrical song that's like charting on TikTok. And he just so
Yeah.
happened to be from Atlanta. Like that's insane, man. You know what I'm
And
saying? So
I feel like rap now is less geographical because you can make music with anyone around the world with just like a
mhm,
computer. But
mhm.
when I think of like
Thank you.
lyricists and cities, I think of Atlanta and I think of Chicago with like the
Mhm.
Saba type squad, Smino, even though Smino's not Chicago, but
Right,
kind of
right,
in
right.
that squad of
Mhm.
people. But trap music itself, I actually listened to T.I.'s album Trap Music for the first time 2 weeks
Mhm.
ago because I was like,
Right.
I know T.I.'s the king of the South. I'm like, I had to give one of these albums a listen. But even his music is lyrical to it, even though it's
Yeah.
trap music.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, Ti's like on our Mount Rushmore for sure. But like yeah, like even but though like bro like that's like '03, '04. Like yes, like I grew up on that shit, bro. But like bro, when I was like in middle school, high school, bro, like Travis Porter, The Rich Kids, like
Yeah,
Waka Flocka,
Migos.
Gucci Mane, like bro, like even to like getting a little older and like Futures having the most insane run ever with the
Yeah,
Migos, and then 21 comes out. It's just like bro, like it's always been like this small group of lyrical quote unquote rappers from Atlanta, and it just felt, bro, it's an uphill battle. I'm telling you, like,
yeah,
and I think that, like, bro, if you talk to Jid about it, like, he would tell you the same thing. Like, if you talk to Ben about it, he would tell you the same thing. Like, you know, but I think everybody that you named too, though, I think one thing about Atlanta is that our beats still be hard as fuck, though. You get what I'm
they are.
saying? Like, we
Yeah,
not like we're not coming out the gate just boom rap like boom bap rapping like Ben Riley beats is insane. Like Marco beats is like insane. Like Jid for the most part, like his beats
dude,
are insane. Like you know what I mean? Like
Christo makes the craziest beats.
Christo is like a fucking genius, brother.
I was listening to the Forever Story this morning, and
Mhm.
just the first song is just like heavy 808s just banging, and it's like, what is this
Mhm.
beat? It's
I was
amazing.
there. I was there for that. That was crazy.
Them making it. Oh my god!
Mm-hmm.
Like I got the
Yeah.
shit you can play for your mama. I got the shit you can play for the hoes. That
Bro,
is
that nigga, bro, Jid, like, I was just talking to him about this shit this week too, because he told me to pull up to the studio, and I was just like, bro, like, I'm gonna just pull up at like, cause he told me he's recording at 12, but I know what that really mean. Like he really recording at like 10 in the morning. I can pull up at 12, but everyone
yeah,
else can pull
yeah,
up at like 6. You know what I'm saying? Bro,
yeah.
I remember just going when he was working on that album, I pull up on Jid every day. And I think Jid was already at the studio from like 10 in the morning. So I get there and like it's just he had like a camp type situation, but like
Hmm.
Jada always like really fuck with me, so like I'll just pull up early, you know what I mean? Like still just to
Yeah.
like watch him record and just learn and just like talk to him and just like you know what I mean, just whatever. Man, I get there like 12, bro. He's just like, man, shit, goddamn, I really got this I got this song. Like, tell me what you think about this. And he just, well, our summer, razor, big
Oh
jets.
my
I'm like, where the fuck is this going?
god. This,
And then that shit dropping, I'm just like,
whew.
bro, this nigga is crazy. I'm like, bro, I don't know what made you think of this shit, like, but this shit is crazy. I think the switch up was already on there at that time, but like, I just remember like hearing the first part of that song, like, and just being like, bro, you did this at
Oh
10
my.
in the morning, like, what are you doing, like, and you went to sleep at
Yeah.
like 4, bro. So like,
That,
what's going on in your head, like, you know what I
that's
mean?
not a 10 in the morning type of song. He got
Nah,
cracking the
it's not.
whip, whipping the crack, just like the crack is a did in the black. Like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
like he's Jid's crazy.
Yeah. I want to touch on more of your guys' relationship in a second, but back to the
Mhm,
Atlanta rap. And you
mhm,
talked about the sounds, the beats you guys be choosing. So you and
mhm,
Ben have done this like really hype, like crazy. I'm not even sure what beats you would call them, but just like these hype ass beats, but still being lyrical. Then Kenny has, I mean, he doesn't like the phrase rock rap, but like rapping on these harder rock rap beats, and then JID rapping on Stick with Kenny Mason, and that being like an insane song. Do you ever feel like you guys are carving out a sound for Atlanta, or you're just like, I like these beats, this is what I rap on?
I just really feel like I just like them beats, and that's what I rap on. Like for me, it's just like, bro, like man, even though I grew up a lyrical rapper, bro, like for the most part, like them beats be ass. Like I don't, like, I don't want to rap on this shit. Like you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I always felt like the harder beats came from like artists that I guess quote unquote exist outside of lyrical rap. So I mean, personally for me, like I think for Ben too, I could say that like I said, I've known him my whole life. Like I think that's just what we like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like for me, like my favorite rapper, one of my I say like probably like my second favorite rapper is Young Nudy. So like
Yeah.
I always thought he had like the best beats. So like I think originally like when I start making that transition over to like harder production, like it was really just like damn like Young Nudy type beats or like talking to Coop
Yeah.
and being like shit,
Coop is
let's make some hard shit.
crazy.
Yeah, man. So like, I don't know. For me, it's not even like a conscious thing. It's like, bro, this is just what I like. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, and don't get me wrong. Like, I do have things that feel like boom bap. You know, but like, or just a lot of different shit, honestly. But like, for the most part, it's just like what I like, honestly. You know.
Yeah. When I hear that car engine start at the beginning of a song, and I hear Coop, I'm like, oh, it's
Yeah.
over. It's all over,
Bro,
folks.
don't
And
mad me.
Wow Great said on the song, I'm forgetting which song it was, but he said, I'm over my lyrical phase. I'd rather be potent. And I feel like that's like what a lot of you guys are. It's not just, because I would hate calling it lyrical rap. It's not like lyrical miracle shit. It is very potent. And I mean, kind of describe what you think your writing style is.
Um, I think I don't know. Like, man, bro. Like, honestly speaking, like, yeah, man. Like, I'll see like a lot of those posts that be like top five Atlanta lyrical rappers. And it'll be like so specific to like top five most lyrical Atlanta artists under the age of 27 with face tattoos and two diamond
Yeah.
chains. And like, you know, it'd be like so specific to me and I won't be in there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um, and I just be like, a lot of the time I just be like, damn, like, am I just like forgotten about? Like, am I not lyrical? But then like, I thought about this recently. I was like, bro, maybe I'm not like, and I think it kind of like, I think I'm more intentional. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think that like for me, like before it's lyrical, I think before I'm trying to be lyrical, I think for me it's just like making sure that every single line is something that means something to me. Like for instance, like
Yeah.
I think JID lyrical. I think Deontay Hitchcock lyrical. Um I think that Earth Gang lyrical. But I think that Kenny Mason, even and myself, even I think that when you listen to us rap, like you're not really, I don't think you're listening to it from like a lyrical's ear, like a lyricality type of like place. But I think it's like more intentional. Like when you listen to Kenny, like everything he says, like every line, like from the beginning to end, is like it's not the most lyrical thing you've heard, but it's like it's kind of mind blowing
It's
from
real.
like because it's real. You get what I mean? Like it's just like damn, like this is like I felt this. You get what I'm saying? Like this is like
Yeah.
something
He,
that's like
he had
it's
my verse of
real.
the year last year, D&D by Paris, Texas. I thought that verse, it was just every line was the realest thing. He
Mhm.
said, I'm not a narcissist, but I know my shit better than y'all shit. And I'm like, oh my
Man,
lord.
bro, Kenny's incredible, bro. Even like I think he had a line that fucked me up for 2 years when he said, even if God slip, I finesse. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, how do you even think about some shit like even
Yeah.
if God slips, I finesse? I'm saying like it's more so intentional. Like it's intentional to the song. It's intentional to like the point he's trying to prove and the
Yeah.
message that he's trying to give. And I feel like I'm the same way. Like even with like, you know, like just songs like we mentioned like Grammys. It's like growing up, my mama was my daddy. Fuck the bills, we gonna stay with Granny. I'm from where the kids is selling candy. Before I sold a record, sold a Grammy. It's not lyrical, but it's just like every single thing that I'm like trying to paint a picture. You know, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
intentional. You know what I mean?
There's no filler. There's
Exactly.
no rhyming for the sake of rhyming. It's every
hmm
line adds to the next line.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's the best form of rap. But now I want to get back into your relationship with JID. I know that you guys have been doing like festivals, like the Lyrical Atlanta festivals for years.
Mm-hmm.
Not maybe being as close at first, but getting to the point where you get invited to the studio, you're going on
Mm-hmm.
tour with,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what a tour to go on. Because that's
Man.
like, that's like my dream. It was like J.I.D. and Smino. I'm like, I have to get tickets to that. And then
Mm-hmm.
obviously falling in love with you, Jordan. What a perfect pairing. But
Mm-hmm.
tell me about that relationship, and then we can get into the tour too.
Man, I used to be so jealous of Jid, bro, when I first was coming up, bro. Like when I was like a teenager, bro, like man, I was just so jealous because he was so good too. You know what I'm saying? Like
He's so good.
he's
That
so
freestyle,
good,
that Funk Flex freestyle. I think
man,
it's like the
bro. Like I was so jealous, bro. But like, man, like the ability to see something and like, or for him to see something in me and to like really bring me in like under like him, like under his arm and really like teach me things even when he's not trying to teach me things or even when he's teaching me things and he knows he is or just giving me like guidance like Jid like bro like respectfully like Jid told me some of the most important things I've ever needed to hear in my life like for my
hmm
career like bro like I can't ask for like a better role model, you get what I mean,
hmm
like and
yeah.
also too like bro Jid's just like a really fucking good guy, like you get what I mean, like
hmm
so for me like and I know the fuck out this nigga. I'm not gonna lie. Like I know I be annoying G. Like man, we was going on that tour when he announced that tour, bro. Cause he had told me that I was going on tour with him like a year before he announced it. I was texting that nigga every day about it. Like, bro, we still going. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what's up, bro? Like, you know what I mean? But like, man, I love him, bro. Like, um, I just like I don't know. I really value having him as like a big brother. You know what I
hmm
mean? Like, and just really like allowing me to just kind of like get so much game from him and just like watch his recording process. Like watching him record, like is made me respect him so much, bro. Like that man can go in the studio and fucking rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro,
Yeah.
like he's actually incredible. Like, the world thinks he's incredible, but like, bro, like watching him do it is like,
I
bro,
can't
he's
imagine.
it's insane. You know what I mean? So like, bro, there's only like a handful of people that I'm extremely grateful for, like in my career, and he's
hmm
definitely one of them. You get what I mean?
Yeah. My favorite video ever is the Revenge of the Dreamers documentary. I don't know how many
Hmm.
times I've watched that, but seeing
Hmm.
like just the videos of him doing Down Bad, like, I don't know. I mean,
Hmm.
Boz was talking about it in an interview the other day, but like, how do you go after that? Because
Yeah.
what are you
Yeah.
supposed to do?
Hmm.
And I mean, he talked about him being a great person. I told you before that I met him my senior year of high school, so about 5, 6 years ago. And
Hmm.
it was in a Verizon store in a meetup in Philadelphia. He let me rap for him. He's like, yo, I'll follow you on Twitter. He didn't, but he was so nice about it. And he's like, yo, you're spitting, you're
Hmm.
spitting. Someone was like, yo, you got to hurry up. He's like, no, let him go. And I mean, just
Hmm.
how important of a moment that was for me, even though I was spitting bad bars. I'm like, damn, got to talk to the GOAT.
Legit? Yeah, that's
But
crazy.
But tell me about the tour coming together. I mean, obviously, his breath control when performing is something that's insane. That's not talked about, and I'm
Bro,
sure you're spitting on your album, so that's obviously something you have to deal with and learning how to do. But tell me about the tour coming together and the experience of it.
man, bro, even before we even get into that too, bro, like, do you know, like, I lost my voice, like, the first two shows going out there, and, like,
Yeah,
I'm like, bro, like, and I'm watching Jit every night. I'm like, I don't know how he's doing this, bro. This man, like, the next day I go to the dressing room. I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I'm losing my voice like 2, 3 songs in. This man really like helped me understand how to be a way better performer. You get what I mean?
yeah,
Like, actually, like, explaining to me like how he's doing these things and this, that, and the third. And it's just like
yeah,
I said, bro. It's one of those things where like he doesn't have to do that. It could have been straight competitive, like, oh yeah, go out there
yeah,
and like use your voice. You know what I'm saying? But like the fact that he was just like, nah, like bro, like this is what I'm doing. You get what I mean? Like
yeah,
make sure your songs are set up like this. And matter of fact, boom, take this song that you perform your third song, switch this with this one, and then you know,
yeah,
and then when you move to this part of the stage, why are you running? You need to be doing like it's just like
yeah, yeah,
bro, like he's that type of person for me. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I want to
But
hear
just
I want to hear more specifics about what like you because I the whole losing your voice thing. I have no clue how any artist does that. I told you I interviewed Chris and Dende after their show in New York City, and my voice was more gone than their voice was when I was interviewing them. Like my voice was cracking, and I'm like, I didn't even perform.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do? Not talk the whole day?
Man, nah. For JID, I mean, well, for him, you gotta understand like his voice is naturally light anyway. Like
Mm-hmm.
JID raps from like JID raps from like JID kind of raps from a different place from where like I rap from. Like I rap from the
Mm-hmm.
back of my throat. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
um while JID is kind of more so it's all like it's all like um it's more so in the nose than it is from the back of the throat. Pause. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? So like for him,
Okay.
like he's already not straining a lot of his vocals anyway.
Yeah.
But then like when you watch what he was telling me specifically was he was like, yo, bro, like you gotta watch. Like when I come out on stage from this song to this song to this song, even when I'm getting lit, bro, I'm not really moving that much. Like I'm moving, like it's lit, it's energetic, but like pay attention, like watch me tonight. Like I'm not really moving that much.
Yeah.
And when I do get lit, it's by the end of the show, and I'm like my voice is already warmed up to the point where it's like even if like I do strain it a little bit, like it's not gonna be as bad like the
Yeah.
next day. You get what I mean? So like really just like like teaching me stage presence and teaching me how to be energetic while not like losing my
Yeah.
voice in two songs. You get what I mean? So
Yeah.
man, it's one of those things. Like he really broke it down for me. Like
Yeah.
and really honestly, like that note alone is what made me like a way better performer, man. And like after that second show, I was like able to maintain my,
Mm-hmm.
my voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now tell me about going across the country and performing the new album. Then you got to go over.
Yeah,
You got to go overseas and perform the album. That's everyone's
yeah.
dream. Tell me about that feeling.
Man, that shit was crazy, bro. Like I had never been overseas before. I ain't never had no passport until Jid made me go get one.
Damn.
So it was just like it was mind blowing, bro. Because for me, like when we're on tour in general, whether it's in the U.S. or it's overseas, bro, Jid's doing what 5 to 6 thousand people a night,
Yeah.
bro. It's like 200 people there that know every single word that I'm about to rap. So for me, it's just like, damn, like I didn't even know I was reaching these people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or reaching people like this, on a smaller scale, yes, but like this is crazy. And then walking away with more fans. But um overseas was crazy to me because like you can just watch people connect with your music that don't even necessarily understand what you're talking about. But it's something else
100%.
that's bigger. It's something else that's bigger than context that like they're connecting with. You can call it energy or feeling or whatever, you know what I mean? And just that alone is just like, damn, like this is crazy, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
So
mean,
yeah, my boy
Drake
really
was
brought me overseas. That was insane.
Drake was saying during that Grammy speech, he's like, "This award's cool and all, but if you got people coming out to see you on tour and they
Mhm.
connect with the music, like that's all you need." And
Yeah, facts.
it's interesting for me and like my hip hop journey. Like I think "To Pimp a Butterfly" is the greatest hip hop album ever made, but it
Mhm.
wasn't obviously made for someone like me to consume. Like I'm not the target audience, but it makes
All right.
me, I think, a better person because I'm hearing these stories from other people. And that's like my favorite part about hip hop is just learning because there's like hearing everyone's stories from how they grew up differently.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, listening to your music, you're so honest about your come up and your family situation and your current mental state and stuff. And I think that's what people, even if they can't connect with the literal story that you're going through, they can connect with the emotion behind the story.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, man, it's things bigger than context, man.
Mhm.
So I appreciate that you even said that too, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah. Now, of
Yeah.
course, I mean, I'm someone who's like a huge Freddie Gibbs fan. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not, it's hard to sometimes connect with that shit, but like, there's an underlying emotion that you can empathize with what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That I
Mm-hmm.
think is important for hip hop. I mean, shout out to
I
hip hop.
agree.
It's the best.
Facts.
Sorry to pull you away from the interview, but it's time to give a big shout out to SoundCentric's first sponsor ever, artist manager and entertainment executive Ian Schwartzman. Make sure you go check out Ian's new amazing roll call series that you can find on all of his social media platforms right here. It shows artists, managers, or any music industry professionals ways to navigate the industry with topics like major labels versus independent labels, licensing versus publishing, and topics like that. I've really enjoyed it and I've learned so much, and I think you will too. Now back to the episode. So now let's get into our playlist title of the week. This is a way for us to kind of describe how we're doing and shout out an artist we are listening to. So Suave, what's been highlighting the playlist?
Um, Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Like I was looking in my library when you asked me this or when you told me about this before, bro. Honestly, I posted this girl the other day too. Her name's Aileen Valentine. She's so
Okay.
good, bro. Like she's so gassed. And like honestly, like I was gonna say like one specific song. Like she just dropped a song called "Ask Nicely," and that's
Okay. Word.
insane. But any Aileen Valentine song is gas. And also too, like
Word.
I think that's gas. And it's this artist from New York named Lunchbox, and he's like I can't even describe it. It's like he sounds just like the blueprint of like where I feel like popular rap is going. You know what I mean? Like, bro,
Uh huh.
he's incredible, bro. Like, his beats, like he produces a lot of his own shit. Like Lunchbox is insane. Like in his album called
Word.
New Jazz, I just want everyone to go listen to New Jazz. It's my boy too. Like I fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? So heavy.
That I'm gonna have to listen to it. That sounds
Hmm.
fire. For me
Hmm.
this week, I actually shouted out this person last week, but my mic cut off for literally 1 minute of the podcast and it didn't work. But Geogenesis, rapper singer from New York, he is releasing these weekly videos, and it's
Hmm.
such an amazing concept. I mean, we were talking before how I'm a believer that music videos are not dying, and in
Hmm.
this DIY kind of world we're living in now, he is killing it with releasing this new music every week.
Hmm.
So shout out to Geo for pushing that forward.
Shout out to that boy, man.
So now I want to talk about. So I'm gonna tell you about how I feel about this, and let me know if you relate to this. As a
Okay.
creative, so hip hop is like my entire life. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Hmm.
And some days, say while I'm doing the podcast, and maybe the streams aren't matching what I want, or I'm seeing comparing myself to other people who do this. There's some days where I'm like, life would be easier if I didn't have this passion, if I just like
Right.
didn't love this so much. But then
Yep.
the flip side of that is that's a boring life. I'm so happy that I wake up
Hmm.
every day and like my whole day is consuming hip hop and talking about
Yeah.
hip hop.
Yep.
And you talk a lot about in your music with on Grammys talking about 23 and 24, thinking about quitting and the deal not hitting. On
Hmm.
your song Second Childhood, you kind of talk about like this family life, but then realizing you have to go back to the studio. What
Hmm.
keeps when you have those days where you're like, shit, like I life would be easier if I didn't want to be a rapper. What keeps you going?
Man, like I don't know, brother. Like, I feel like those moments are so, they're more consistent than I feel like people think, man. Like, bro,
Hmm.
like you're an artist yourself too, and you do this as well. So like
Hmm.
like your wins feel amazing, and your
Hmm.
wins are definitely like they're great. But I think when you're someone who's like on the rise and you feel like you're kind of nowhere near like where your idea of your destination is,
Hmm.
it's so like frustrating. And your losses, like, man, I feel like, man, like chasing like the things that we chase, there's for every win, there's like 27,000 losses. You get what I mean? It's like it's mental
Yep.
battles. It's like I said, like, bro, it's like it's seeing those like very specific posts that's like, yo, like name the top five up and coming artist from Atlanta, dark skinned, 6'2", like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you not being on
Yeah.
those,
Yeah.
like, and it's like so catered to you to like, just, watching, like, honestly, like even experiencing like jealousy and just like watching like people that you've grown up with, like, do amazing things. And even though you're happy for them, like, you're like, yo, bro, like I should be doing these things as well. Like, yeah,
100%.
it's a consistent everyday thing. And like, I'm not like, I hate when people act like those feelings aren't real too. Like, bro, like
Yeah.
everyone experiences jealousy. Like, I came on here and I told you, like, bro, before I met Jid, like, well, I met Jid and I was jealous of him. You know what I mean? Like, but it's
Yeah. Yeah.
because it took for him to really, little bro me respectfully, for me to be like, okay, like, I'm not jealous of Jid. Like, my boy's really teaching me some shit. But like, bro, it's like
Yeah.
that shit is like it's real, bro. And honestly, I think for me, bro, like I don't know what keeps me going. Like, I don't
Yeah.
like at all. Like, it's just there's a part of me sometimes, at least once a day, where I'm like, man, like I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know where I'm going. Like, I don't know how this is gonna play out. And I don't know. There's also a part of me that feels like, bro, I could go do something else, but this is definitely like the best thing I know how to do. You get what I mean? Like this is the
Yeah.
thing I know how to do the best. Maybe like play 2K or some shit, but like other than that, it's like, bro, this is the thing that I do the best. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know, man. You work so hard. You put yourself out there. Like you put all of you out there on Front Street to be
Yeah.
judged and to be looked at and to for people to have their own opinions of. So it's like, damn, like I could stop, but then it's just like, then
Yeah.
what happens? Like I end up being like another rapper that
Exactly.
could have or should have, you know what I mean? And that's like, it's
Yeah.
ass, man. But like, I don't know. I couldn't tell you like what keeps me going today, but I think that like, I think what's more important than like that answer is just like telling people and like having conversations like this that are like real, where it's like, bro, like,
Mm-hmm.
this is not some industry ass conversation. Like, bro, like I be jealous of niggas, like respectfully,
Yeah.
like I deal with that every day. Or like I deal with like feeling like, damn, I don't want to do this shit no more. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't. Like I deal with real fucking feelings. Like I'm not made out of plastic. I'm not a social media like influence or a social media figure that isn't like connected with like real fucking emotions. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's the bigger conversation. It's kind of like I used to feel that same way about like just coming up and like watching interviews and like you know how you watch an interview with a rapper and they'll be like, so how did you get on? You be like, shit, but they'll just be like, shit, bro. You just gotta keep going. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
bro, fuck
Yeah.
that. Like, what do you fucking mean? You get what I'm saying? Like, that means nothing to me. Like, you gave me nothing. You gave me no game. You didn't tell
Yeah.
me to go on. You didn't tell me to fucking take my $300 check and put $200 on our generation. You didn't tell
Yeah.
me to fucking like take my $300 check and to invest it into like a fucking promotion or you know what I mean, or running ads on my YouTube. You know what I mean? Like you didn't tell me
Yeah.
nothing. So it's like before I sit here and like maybe I guess fake or try to force an answer on how I deal with it. Like I think I can just be honest with you and tell you like, bro, I don't. Like I have those days every day, like
Yeah.
every single day. Like um but I think what's more important is like, yo, bro, like I said, just having conversations like this that's relatable. And it's like, yo, bro, like, I feel that way too. Like, let's fucking help each other, you know,
Yeah.
to get to like not only a place where we feel like we're fucking winning, but like a place where we're like, damn, like, we actually realize that this is what the fuck we should be doing. And like, we don't quit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And it could be like the losses are magnified over the wins. Someone could tell you about how much their song means to you, but
Mm-hmm.
not, when something bad happens or you're comparing yourself, it's like that outweighs that person, like how much that music meant to that single person. Like someone's
Yep.
told me like they love the podcast, and it's hard for me to internalize that when I'm comparing myself to like NFR podcast, who's very big.
Yeah.
And I'll say that. So I just graduated in May. I've been on my
Mm-hmm.
job hunt for a year, trying to get a job in the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
Applied for 100 plus jobs, only 3 interviews. It's like every day I'm like, why the fuck did I want to do this? And
Yeah.
should I stop? And then every morning I wake up and I just keep doing it. And it's very
Yeah.
similar to what you're saying, that I don't know exactly what it is. Sometimes I tell myself if I quit, I would be the same exact person now with one less passion in the world. And
Mm.
I like the fact that I have something that I'm so into that
Yep.
maybe I look at other people and maybe they don't have like a hobby. I'm like, I'm so happy I have this, that it gets me so
Yeah.
excited that like I nerd out to my brothers. I'm like, they don't give a shit. And I'm like, you have to watch this. It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's like I'm kind of like you're right because even like with what you said, or and even what I think what I said too, it's not necessarily like inspirational. Like it's more so just like it's real. And I think before I'm like inspirational, like I'd much rather tell you some real fucking shit. Like I'm not going to be that rapper that sits there and tells you know the world like you know the story on how I got there or how I got there was by because I kept fucking going
He
or
kept
like
grinding.
I never thought about quitting. Like I never gave up and had this John Cena type mentality. Like, bro,
Yeah.
it's not real, bro. That shit's fake. Like I experience like real fucking emotions like every day. Like even at whatever success level people think I have, like you know, I experience the same things that you feel. Like just at this level. You know what I mean? So I think, bro, like I think I guess having this conversation between ourselves, bro, is just like
It's important.
it's important, but I think that like broadcasting these things to the world and like showing people that we're real fucking human beings. I think that's extremely important, brother.
Yeah, no, that was an amazing conversation because yeah, we look at these people and we're like, they had it so easy, like they just had this skill and it came together. But you never
Mm.
know everyone's story behind it, how much hard work. I'm sure that's like kind of what you learned from JID. It's like you started hating on him, but then you're like, oh, his work ethic's insane. How could I
Yeah,
hate someone that works so hard?
you can't, brother. Like you can't, and like especially if someone is like willing to like invest into you, essentially. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Or even just allow you to like experience a higher level of the same thing that you're doing. You get what I mean? Like, bro, like
yeah,
I come from basketball, so like, bro, like me playing on a seventh grade court, bro. If he's in high school, if he's on varsity, like even you inviting me to come to practice to watch is like you didn't have to do that. You get what I mean?
yeah,
Like that's real. And like, granted, am I still gonna be like, am I still gonna feel like, man, I can't fucking wait till like, man, I go out there and I'm able to be on varsity and drop 30 like you, big bro. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
may
yeah.
experience those same feelings, but it's like, bro, it's real though. And there, I think a lot more artists or people just in, I guess, quote unquote, important people, I guess, for lack of better words, to like talk about those feelings a little
Yeah.
bit more versus this fake ass like social
Keep
media
grinding.
keep grinding shit. I never want to
Yeah.
hear those two words together ever again in my life.
With the 100 emoji and maybe like a
Bro,
flex emoji.
bro, what? Bro,
Yeah.
what? I'd rather no.
So let's take a quick trip back to you were talking about how you were putting your money into our generation. And
Mm,
that's how your song Quick Trip got to be
yeah,
seen by
mm,
Metro Boomin, the GOAT,
mm,
and another
yeah,
artist who it kind of seems like he was in the high school team. You could even say he was the D1 legend, just beat one
yeah.
March Madness, and he invited you to come to the Final Four. Tell me
Right.
about what actually happened when he saw that music on our generation and kind of just how the relationship formed from there.
Man, bro, like I was working this job and I was only working to get on like our generation and run like Twitter promo like 2, 3 times a month. So my mentality was just like, yo, bro, like surely if the music is good as I think it is,
Hmm.
like surely like exposure is all it'll take, like,
Yeah,
Um and Metro ended up seeing it and like he followed me on Twitter and I jumped the gun on that. I was like, bro, I can't not say something.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna be too fucking cool. Like, nah, like I may not ever get this opportunity again. He may unfollow me tomorrow. So I DM
Facts.
him and I'm just like, bro, your DM honestly just made my day. Like one of those moments that actually like I must be doing something right. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And we had a little conversation. He was like, bro, when I get back from Vegas, I want to hear some music, bro. And I pulled up on him at Tree Sounds in Atlanta. Um,
Legendary studio.
Legendary. That's
Revenge of
where
the
I
Dreamers.
record. That's where I record now. Like,
That's sick.
Um, and we talked for probably like I didn't even play him no music. I think we just talked for like 2, 3 hours. One of the longer conversations that we've ever had in like my relationship with him.
Hmm.
And I think by the end of the conversation, he was just like, "Bro, I want you to be the first artist I signed to Boominati, man." And again, bro, it was one of those relationships to where like you know he was teaching me things, and necessarily I don't even know if he was teaching me. Metro's like Metro's. I used to tell him all the time. I think he's like the newer version of what people think Dr. Dre is, just from like watching him
100%.
work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And his importance to like hip hop and production today, and just influence and just things that like I think about things that Metro would tell me then that he's right about to this day. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Like, and I think for me, he was just like to me, he was more like it's like a big brother father figure to me, bro. Like essentially,
Hmm.
like he saved my life, you know. So for me, like I always hold him in that like light. You know what I mean? Like in that
Yeah.
regard. You know what I mean? Like to me, like I think Metro can do like no wrong. You know what I mean? Like he's one of those people, man, and he's really like blessed with that thing that like he can predict some shit 6 months in advance, a year in advance, 2 years in advance. Like him taking a
Yeah.
risk on me as a lyrical Atlanta rapper when that thing is not even a thing until 2022,
Yeah.
2023. You know what I mean? Like him just being like, nah, I see it like now. Like, bro, I remember going to the studio with this nigga one time, bro, and like Key Glock, no, not Key Glock, JB Block Boy was getting like 1,000 plays on SoundCloud, bro. I,
Hmm.
sh- swear to God, bro. If you ever interview Metro Boomin, I swear to God, I tell you the same thing. He'll probably
Just
downplay
manifest
it.
it.
Like, bro, this man was like, bro, I'm telling you, bro, he gonna goddamn make one song. I'm telling you, Drake gonna hear that shit, bro. He gonna get in the video, do that stupid ass dance that he be doing, and that's the biggest song of the year. And that shit happened the next year, bro. I'm
It's
not bull
insane.
like, bro. Like even just like Nav, like meeting like Nav or like Offset kind of said the same thing. It's like, bro, whatever this man tell you to do, just do it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like he kind of has that type of mentality, you know, and that type of like reputation. I would say so. For
yeah,
me, I think he's one of those people. Like I said, like in my handful of like names that I feel like without this person, my career doesn't exist. You know
yeah,
what I mean? I'm kind of like a nobody essentially. You know.
yeah. So, what do you think he saw in you? Was it like the work ethic through that conversation? He's like, "Oh, this kid gets it." Was it because you said you didn't play in the music right away, or was it eventually like he's like, "This kid's obviously clearly really good at rapping too"? What
I
stuck
don't
out
know
to
what he
him?
saw. I don't know, man. Like that's one of them things that somebody would have to ask him. But like
Yeah,
I don't know, whatever he saw, bro. I'm thankful, bro, because it's definitely risky, bro. Like, bro, I was a fucking 19, 20-year-old kid, like, that had no money in his pocket, like, and I was just like finding my voice and finding my sound and not really knowing anything, really, respectfully, like,
hmm,
just trying to figure some shit out. And he saw something in me and was like, nah, I think eventually this will be something, you know what I mean? So, man,
yeah.
one of my biggest teachers, man.
I mean, that's like another one of those wins that I'm sure you've let it soak in, and like it's obviously helped your career. But like sometimes it's hard to forget those things. To give you a similar thing that happened last week for me,
Mhm.
Rhapsody followed me on Twitter, and I was
Wow.
like, I'm like, if Rhapsody followed me, I must be doing something right with the content.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
similarly, I'm like, I asked my brother, I'm like, do I shoot my shot to get her on like right away? I
Mhm.
did. She hasn't answered yet, but we'll manifest the Rhapsody interview.
We can make the
But
Rhapsody thing. Rhapsody's cool as fuck. We can make the Rhapsody thing happen for sure. She's
but
cool as
there's
fuck.
I mean, there's moments of people like putting their belief in you, people you respect mostly. Like the biggest part of it, it's like, okay, like this is a real moment,
Mhm.
and that gives me chills hearing that story. And another person that you've interpolated a lot on your music on Final Fantasy, you kind of did a whole verse from "You Got It" from this artist. You said one man's pain is another man's pleasure. You
Mhm.
on the new album, you were interpolating "Back to the
Yeah.
Topic." I'm
Mhm.
forgetting which song, but you did talk about "Back to the Topic," and then you
Mhm.
just released "Just Met J. Cole" freestyle. He's my goat, but like, tell me about the influence on you, and then please give us the story of meeting the
I'm so
man
glad you
himself.
caught that too, because a lot of people like my guy Eric Gussler is here too. He's like the guy who be executive producing like all my albums and shit.
What up,
You know what I
Eric?
mean?
What's up? How are you?
Bro, I'm so glad you caught that because it was so many like times where I would like interpolate like J. Cole. Like I never cleared that shit too. So Cole, if you see this, bro, my
Yeah.
fault, bro. Like don't you know what I'm saying? I don't got the money for that right now.
Yeah.
But
No, back to the
um
topic's a mixtape. Do you even have to
yeah,
clear
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
fuck
still
that.
like man, bro, like fucking man, like for me, like I said, like my first time hearing J. Cole, seventh, eighth grade, and just like one of those feelings where it's just like, man, like yeah, he's a lyricist, but like more than a lyrical artist, like it was the meaning and the intentional
Yeah.
like verses and lines. Like, bro, he didn't waste a single line. And I grew up on that shit. Like, yeah, bro. Like, I know it was cool at one point for niggas to be like, I grew up on Jay-Z. I grew up on Nas. Like, and
Yeah.
although I did go back and have those studios moments, bro. Like, I grew up on fucking J. Cole. I grew up on Kendrick Lamar. I grew up on
Yeah.
Drake. I grew up on Kid Cudi. I grew up on Wale. I grew up on like
The
that
the blog
2009,
era. Yeah.
2008, like the blog era. You know what I mean? Like, that's the shit that connects with me the most. So like a lot of Almita Son was like paying homage. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there was like Absol lines that I would like interpolate or just
Yeah.
like lines like that or little nods like Kendrick. Like it was my way of like
Yeah. You did the
paying
do do
homage.
ad lib. I saw you
Yeah,
did do do.
exactly. You know what I mean? Or just like having my my moment to pay homage before I went off and did some completely different and original things. So yeah, bro, like J. Cole's on my personal route, like Mount Rushmore. I don't like them, bro. A nigga can't tell me nothing about J. Cole. Like all them,
Nothing.
bro. If I see a bad tweet about J. Cole, I'm
Yep.
blocking you. You know what I mean? Like
We talked on the pod the other day. KOD is an amazing album. It is so incredible and
incredible,
has
bro.
some of it. Has some of his best verses, and people get mad because Motivate and ATM are on there, which are also bangers. But Brackets,
I ain't gonna lie,
Friends,
bro.
Window
I'm
Pane,
not, bro. Window pane, brackets, fucking what's the other one? Is brackets the one was like whoa
oh yeah,
whoa whoa
yeah,
whoa
yeah.
yeah
I got
yeah
it.
yeah yeah. That's
Brackets,
the
Once
one.
an Addict, Friends, Window Pane, 1985. Like that's just a run on the album. Like that's how it goes
Hmm.
on the track list. It's crazy.
Hmm. Like bro, like Jake, like KLD is incredible. I ain't gonna lie, I don't like ATM and Motivate either though. But like,
But
nah,
they're
but
like
I
fun,
don't care.
fun songs. But I think people say it's like his trap album because he rapped on like 3 trap beats. But the rest of it's like his normal
Yeah,
production.
like bro, like Photograph taught me how to make a hook for real. Like you know what I mean? Like
Bro,
that's a fucking
Kill Edward
song.
was spitting. People
You
were
know what I'm
roasting him at
saying?
first, but I like the voice.
Yeah, man. Like bro, he yeah, he's incredible, bro. Like man, like all respect to J. Cole and hopefully, bro, I get like to work with him before he, the fall off or whatever the fuck
He's
that
not.
means.
He ain't retiring. I mean,
I
we'll get
hope
it's
not.
a.
Shit.
Hopefully, we get It's a Boy first, whatever that is on the list of the next things coming. But tell us about
Mhm.
meeting him. I assume Tree Sounds is where you met him.
Man, nigga, bro, that shit happened like it was crazy. So I knew they was having some little Dreamville, like a little private one, not like the Revenge of the Dreamers type joint.
Yeah,
Like it's for cold shit. And I knew they was having that shit, man. And I told you, bro, like you know how much I respect JID. So a lot of the time, like
yeah,
I know I annoy him. Like you know how like Kobe would have those like those moments where like he would say things like I knew I annoyed Michael Jordan, but it don't matter.
yeah,
Like but
yeah.
it does matter. So like with me, like I was just like, damn, I want to annoy the fuck out this nigga JID to get there, bro.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get JID, in the studio to work on some music, but I just knew niggas was up there. So I didn't go Monday, mad as fuck. You already know I'm mad as fuck. I got that whole like mentality. It's just like, man, bro, I gotta be there. I don't care, bro. Like, but
hmm
Tuesday, Jay hit me and told me to pull up. So I pull up on Tuesday. Mind you, I record at Tree Sounds. Like that's like my
Yeah,
studio. I record at. Um, and I get there and I go in the room with Jid. And it's like me, him, Smino, um, Earth Gang, and Marco's in there,
yeah,
and we're just all kind of just like, shit. Let's just do some shit, man. I'm chilling, just playing some music. It's really Jid room, so Jid's kind of like
yeah.
doing whatever you want to do. Um, and then I ain't gonna lie, that boy walk in, man. I first seen Westside Gun walk in.
That's.
Um,
This is the same story that Chris told.
yeah, he
That
walk
like yeah,
in, and
damn
like
gun.
I'm like, damn, that's Westside Gun. And then J. Cole comes, he's right behind him. He's just like, yo, Jid, Westside Gun is that the third conductor? Y'all know the nigga conductor that made the beats? Man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. This nigga was like Jesus, like, you know what I
No,
mean?
I
Like
get it.
now I'm like kind of stuck. You know what I mean? I'm really just like I'm stuck as
Whoa.
hell. And then like him and Jid having a conversation, but like I'm like really having one of those moments where it's just like, bro, like man, I don't even know what to do right now. Like I'm kind of fucked up. I don't know if I should
Yeah,
look at him too long. Like I don't know. Like,
yeah.
but he
Because
ended
it's not
up
a
like,
meet and greet. It's like you're in the same room in his like element
you know what I'm
of the
saying?
studio.
Exactly. So like, bro, like Jid's like he wants to play him some music, and Cole's like, yeah, play me some shit. So Jid, like I think J Cole came and like kind of like sat like right next to where I was, and he was playing the song, and Cole was like, it was really Marco rapping. I'm not gonna lie, it was Marco rapping, and
Yeah.
he was like, who is this? This shit's crazy. And he points at me. He's like, this you, bro? I'm like, nah, that ain't
I,
me, bro.
like fuck.
I'm like, he's like, damn. And I was like, Michelle, I'm Suave though. Nice to meet you. He said, oh, you Suave, bro? My nigga. And just gets up and walks out the room. Like, he's like, like
That's
basically on some shit like, I fuck with you. Like, my nigga,
yeah,
shit
yeah, yeah.
fire. I'm like, bro,
Bro.
like, and just walks out the room. I'm just like watching this nigga like float out the room. I'm like, I was fucked up. You get what I'm saying? The music was playing like loud, but like it was like everything was just quiet. It was like it's just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I heard it directly from him. So it's just like man, like for
Do
me to
you?
tell him, for me to have a moment where like it felt like he already knew who I was and tell me my shit was cool. It was
Yeah,
just like oh nigga, like
yeah,
I mean, clearly it was important enough for me to make a song about it. So you know what I'm saying?
yeah. I mean, obviously, Jin, they're all used to seeing him. But do you, Marco, and Chris look at each other like what the fuck just happened?
See,
I
I
think
ain't
I'd be like,
see Chris. I know, like Chris was there. Like that's our first time really meeting in real life was at that shit. But like, bro, you gotta understand, like J. Cole just walked in the room. So if Chris is there, bro, like I really respectfully ain't even see Chris. All I seen was J.
Yeah,
Cole.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but Marco was there, bro. Marco just be high as hell. So like, I don't know. I don't really necessarily know if Marco gave a damn for real. Cause you know Marco really cool as a fuck too for real. So the
Yeah,
whole rest of the week, bro, I would see J. Cole like in the lobby or whatever, bro. I would just wherever room he was in, bro. I just respectfully just avoided being in there. Like I just walk in the kitchen, but oh, I gotta leave. Like, you know, I'm like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Cause I was just like, damn, like that's really J. I was like nervous, bro. Like
yeah.
respectfully, like it's like, damn, like, I can't believe this is J. Cole. Like, you know what I mean? Like, wow. Like,
My friend met him in New York City, like when he was doing one of those famous bike rides. And my friend is
mhm.
just like a goofy kid, does not like J. Cole. And he was like, "You look like J. Cole." And J. Cole's like, "Yep." And my friend didn't do anything. And when he told me that story, every time I'm in New York, I daydream the entire time of like, what if I see him on a bike? Like, am I chasing him and Eve down on a bike? Is that what I'm about to do?
Man, I met
What?
Eve too, man, at that shit, bro. Like, I was playing like 2K. I told you, bro, if you think I'm a good rapper, you gotta see me play 2K. So I was playing 2K, bro, and I was just playing everybody I could play at one point. And I just started screaming like, I don't know, I'm kind of an annoying nigga. So I just started screaming like, we playing for J. Cole versus like I'm like, it's a tournament. I'm whooping everybody ass. Eve come
That's
in. I'm like,
hilarious.
Eve, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I just went up 30 games, nigga, where my Cole versus, you know what I mean? And just like we have like little
Yeah,
conversations that week too, but that shit was just like it was funny, bro.
that's hilarious. I think
Eve
Eve,
funny.
Eve like quoted one of my tweets that I made, and I think I yelled next to like an old woman at the gym. I was like, "Eve," and like
Nice.
no one knew what going on. But I was hyped. Were there any further combos after that? Any game he spit for you, or
Man,
just the
hell
presence?
no, man. I would talk. I talked to Eve in the kitchen maybe like once, and then we had that little. I was telling him like, man, you owe me a J Cole verse, nigga. I just went up 30 games, but man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like I be feeling like just like some real shit, bro. Like I be personally feeling like just from being like around the industry and kind of in the industry for some time, like there's a difference when you meet a nigga on accident versus
Yeah,
like when somebody wants to meet you. So
yeah, yeah,
like a lot of the time I kind of just like save those moments, like
yeah, yeah.
and just kind of like wait to like. I'd much rather meet J. Cole when he wants to meet me
Mm-hmm.
versus just like on accident. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, I mean, like granted, it's still a blessing.
yeah.
Um, it's really I'm ultimately complaining about getting $1 million or $1 million, but it's just like, yo, bro, like I didn't want to bother
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
I
I'd
got you.
much rather I'd much rather have those conversations when like I've proved myself worthy to be around one of my
Yeah,
idols. You know what I'm saying?
facts. And we were talking about this before the show. I was complimenting your ability to use tone, and like Cole's really good at that. His
Hmm.
voice of like, I know that LA Leakers freestyle, his ability where he looks, his face doesn't change, but his voice gets louder and softer and angry. Like, and I was
Hmm.
telling you that I'm a big believer that you kind of have to have that ability to sound like there's a feature artist on your song or something. Like your
Hmm.
song, I mean, Grammys, you played Baby, but then you played Grammys, you'd be like, this is the same person. How
Yeah, yeah,
much how much emphasis do you put that in your music where you're like, I want to
a
be able to
lot,
switch my tone and my voice?
a lot. Like I think one thing that we always say in the studio is if you're making a song and you should always be able to feature yourself, you know, on your own song. You know, like
Yeah.
Drake does it really well. Like you know, Wayne does it, Kendrick does it, Cole does it.
Kendrick's crazy with it.
You should always be able to feature yourself in your own song. That's when I feel
Yeah.
like you know you really are onto some shit. So that's definitely something that we like me, my A&R Drew and Eric, we definitely like stand on. Like nah, like bro,
Yeah.
like you know, make sure that like you're painting a world on this song, and you know, like even with Baby, like I'm kind of singing and then I feature myself, and I
And then
love
you
when
rap at
there's
the end.
artists like
Yeah.
you know I love songs like that, bro. Like Tyler does it like really well too, so it's like
Yeah.
you
But
know just making sure.
he's interesting because he's not a good singer, but he's made it in a way where it sounds amazing.
Yeah, exactly. I say that all the time. People look at me like I'm fucking crazy. I'm like Tyler's not really like that
He
great of a
knows it
singer, but
too.
I love when he fucking sings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like Earthquake isn't good singing song, but something about it is so great. Like Mac Miller's like that, where he
Hmm.
definitely got better, but he's not technically like a good technical singer. But something about that raspiness and like the emotion in the voice, I'm like, I love it when he sings.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
And someone else that you mentioned before, I mean, JID's so good with the tone shift, but Smino,
Hmm.
if I could see Smino record, what that man does with layering vocals, I know you're big on layering vocals. That
Right.
shit is insane.
Smino's God levels. Like he's like God tier like vocalist to me. Like especially someone who's like technically a rapper. Like man, nobody's like seeing Smino in the studio. Like he's so. I hate people say this about me, but I kind of have to say it in this situation. Like he's so underappreciated. Like bro, Smino is like incredible, bro. Like
Yeah.
he's incredible. Like the way he can actually sing for real. Like he's incredible, man.
Just that it's that St. Louis accent, his
Yeah.
phrasing of words. I mean, he just says like the craziest lines. They're such Smino lines. That's like a
Mm-hmm.
big thing in hip hop is that you can say a lot of easy like puns and easy punchline rap, but it's like he said I'm fly as pelican pussy or something like that. And it's like that funk flex. Like how do you start with that verse? Like how do you think about that one?
He's just
But he just says like
eccentric,
the
bro. Like
fun.
that's his thing. You know.
It's it's wild. Him and Monte Booker. That's
Mm-hmm.
crazy pairing. I want to
Mm-hmm.
finish up by just having. I mean, we've kind of doing this the whole time, but just like a hip hop kind of nerd talk about stuff. Spotify just came out with a list of classic albums. Did you see this?
Nah, I
I'll
didn't.
I'll, I'll read off the list. They came out with a new playlist that's like classic albums since 2015. I think they gave
Mm-hmm.
30. So I will read
Okay.
off who we got. We got Anderson Paak Malibu, Beyonce Lemonade,
Okay.
Beyonce Renaissance, Bryson Tiller Trap Soul, Cleo
That's
Soul.
that's on there on top 30.
Yep, yep, top 30.
Got my nigga Gucci, man.
Cleo's Soul Mother, Daniel
Absolutely.
Caesar Freudian,
Okay.
Freddie Gibbs Bandana, Frank
Okay.
Ocean Blonde,
Okay.
Future DS2,
Amazing.
Her,
Absolutely.
Internet, Ego Death,
You could put
Jay
all of them
Z.
on there for real, actually.
Yeah, they're incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Z 444, Jasmine
Okay.
Sullivan Hotels. That's a fire album.
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick T-Pab,
All right.
Kendrick Damn,
Mm-hmm.
Uzi versus the World,
That's the one with
Migos.
money longer. That's the one with money longer on
Yeah,
there.
yeah, Money
All right.
Longer. Uzi versus the World, Migos Culture, Nipsey
Mm-hmm.
Hussle Victory Lap. Kind of surprised about that one.
Yeah,
It's a good
I'm
album, but
surprised about that one too. Yeah.
Playboy Cardi Die Lit,
Okay.
Rihanna Anti, Roddy Rich Please Excuse Me for being antisocial. I think that was a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
Saba Care for Me. Very hyped that they
That
included
made
that.
that.
Yeah, I'm happy for Saba that got on there.
That's fire.
Uh, Solange Seat at the Table,
Uh-huh.
Summer Walker Over It, SZA
Right.
Control,
Absolutely.
Travis Astroworld, Tyler
Right.
Flower Boy, Tyler
Mm-hmm.
Igor, Tyler Call
Mm-hmm.
Me If You Get Lost. Damn, Tyler's got the most classics on here.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, X17,
Absolutely.
and that is it. So, first, the notable missing. Not one J. Cole album. They didn't put one single J. Cole album on there.
Since 2015,
For Your Eyes Only is a classic.
classic. Absolutely.
Classic. What are we talking about here? I also low key, I thought they were never going to add this, but Revenge of the Dreamers, I think what it did for those artists that were featured on it in the moment it was in hip hop, to me, I think it's a classic album. I know that's like a and
It's a hot
one,
take.
but which albums after naming that were you like, oh, that one didn't make it?
Um, Dominic Fike's debut album, not the
Okay.
one with not the one with the Three Nights, the one with Chicken Tenders and Vampire on there. Um, Gunna's Drip Season 3, the one with Top Off.
Okay.
Um, Gia's last album.
Yeah. Forever Story
Um,
should have been on there.
ba- Baby Keem's the mixtape
Yeah.
with Mosh Pit and all that shit on there.
Like the one where it
Um,
looks like he's crossing over a girl. Like the black and white one.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Whole Lot of Red.
I'm not a Cardi guy. I
You
haven't
gotta
got it
be.
yet.
There's no way. Like
Dude,
Cardi, like
I
Cardi, like
don't
the
like
most
rapping.
important artist of like our generation for real.
I don't like rapping off beat. It's like some artists can do it. It just doesn't hit my ears, and I don't like his deep voice. I don't. I like when he's melodic, and he's like making an actual chorus. But I don't know.
Cardi has not a bad moment ever to me. Like Cardi's incredible. Oh, you know what? Okay, what I say? I'm really tripping. I'm not gonna go on like a whole thing,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, Dominic Fike shit, Drip Season 3. I think that's the one with Top Off and all the other shit. Whole Lot of Red. Um, fucking JID's last album, Rosalia Motomami should be on there.
Okay.
James Blake, Assume Forum. It's one more I know I'm missing. I'm gonna be so mad too. Oh, what are we talking about? Testing. A$AP Rocky. What are we
A$AP
talking
Rocky.
about?
Okay.
Yeah, like, come on, man.
I got another hot take. I'm not sure this is a hot take because I think our generation really likes this album. Dark Sky Paradise for Big Sean. I mean, classic's a hard term. Oh, they didn't put Pusha T Daytona. That's a classic album. I
That's
also would
Pusha
have.
Bits.
I also would have thrown in Mac Miller's Swimming.
Mm.
I'm a big.
I ain't mad at that either. I feel like, what year Dark Sky Paradise? I feel like that shit came out like what 2014 or some shit.
Yeah, honestly, that might be too early. I can't believe they had no Cole album. How do you not have that?
Yeah, I feel like For Your Eyes Only is really one of them ones like you really gotta like. It's like To Pimp a Butterfly. Like you kind of really gotta exist in a specific place to really appreciate that album. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those ones. It's like I get it, but it is a classic though.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I'm gonna go with they for sure missing Moto Mommy, for sure missing Dominique Fike shit, Whole Lot of Red, JID's last album.
Yeah. Honestly, they could put the Never Story there too. I don't know. That's just. Now I'm kind of just naming albums I really like. I'm not sure they're classics or just my favorite albums ever.
Yeah. You biased, bro.
Oh, when I like an artist, like I'm a stan of that artist. Oh, they could have put Alfredo, Freddie Gibbs. I'm just a huge Freddie Gibbs
the Alchemist
guy.
joint. Yep, the Alchemist joint. What year? I don't like shit. I Don't Go Outside came out.
That was early. I think that was like 2012 or 2014.
Shit, me. I think that's 2015. If that's 2015,
Really?
that's gotta be on there. That's Earl's like. That's like the one, man. I don't like shit. I don't go outside. Hold on. That's 2015, man. You gotta put on there, man.
No, this is not a classic album. This is just an album I'm gonna throw out. It's so underrated. Milky Way by Boz. Every single song is a banger. I love that one.
It's a what's the Nudie Land gotta be on there?
Like that.
Yeah, and Testing by A$AP Rocky. That's like incredible.
Yeah. I think they did a pretty good list. I'm happy they got Saba on there. I think that was a big shout out to him.
That was crazy. Shout out my boy, man. That's crazy.
Well, SWAVAY, thank you for coming on. I want to give you a place before we finish to say what we got coming next, where they can find you, where the people can listen to your music.
Man, I got some shit, man. I'm in a place where trying to put my best foot forward. So I think my new song, Baby, kind of is that right now.
Yes, sir.
I do have more music coming out. I'm trying to work on what's that word? Consistency this year. So
it's a hard thing to do.
I got some shit. And the Pure Infinity 2 is definitely like around the corner. Like this is not a fire drill.
Yeah.
It's definitely around the corner, man. Yeah, exactly.
You better not be stringing us along like Smino's doing, which she already decided. That guy's been teasing that for a year.
He is. But he got some. He's working though. He's a master at work right now. I'm not gonna lie. He knows what he has to do. And he's doing it. I promise. I'm
not down it. It will come when it comes. But we're excited for the music. Where can the people find you on social media?
At Jack Harlow on Instagram. JCKHAR.
I saw you made that same joke to another person that you were interviewed by.
I'm gonna just keep telling niggas I'm Jack Harlow until he tell me to stop. So.
Hey, I'll get this also.
All right. I also go by Anycia. That's ANYCIA for anyone on all social media platforms. A lot of people think I look like Chris Brown. I just have to come out and say that now I'm not him. But yeah, man, that's what I got going on, man. That's where you can find me at, man.
Well, if you guys made it to the end of the show, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this fire conversation. I am Adam Dash, DASH _ on social media, not the hyphen. And like, subscribe. We got more artists coming. This is honestly probably my favorite episode yet. SWAVAY, thank you for coming on the show, man. And we are out.